Welcome to the Hershey Podcast. I'm Brandon.
In January.
You probably already knew that.
Mm-hmm. But we got to do it because it's part of the intro.
That is true.
Yeah.
But this episode is about things that people don't know about us.
And this was actually really hard for me to come up with things because I feel like I'm a pretty open book. So I just did a live on my Instagram.
Which was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was.
I popped in for a few giggles. A few hee-hee ha-has.
Oh, man. You're in like a bad dad joke mood, aren't you?
Oh, it's better than the mood I was in when you got home earlier.
Yeah. Well, the witching hours. I know.
Yeah.
That's always really, really difficult. So.
Yeah, 6 to 7 p.m., man, I just crap out.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I just am done.
And
So
every single parent listening is like, I'm not the only one. No, you're not.
You are not the only one.
You're wonderful. That's when I used to turn to alcohol for a reason. It's really, really hard. You have to find other healthy coping mechanisms and skills for that time because you've already put in a really long day and maybe even a really long night because you might have had kids that are up at night, right?
Yeah, I feel like that's the time of day when everyone just wants to start telling on each other. It's so annoying. And so when it gets hard, sometimes I'll come upstairs to play my guitar just to kind of like a meditative thing. And I'll be playing something and one kid after the other is coming in to tell on the other. And as I'm playing, ask questions. And as I'm playing, I'm like, nope, not now. Wait until I'm done. Let me finish this song.
You know,
so I make them wait.
I think that's healthier than what I do. I never get around to doing the thing I want to do, like read a book or whatnot, because of all of what everyone needs, of course. And so then I'm just frustrated by the end of the day that I didn't even do something that I may have wanted to do. So you have to let your kids know as they get older that you're a human being too, and you need a few minutes here or there, right? As your kids get older, like some of you might have like really young kids, and you're like, okay, well, that's great for you, but I have to actually be in the room with them at all times. But when you have a 15-year-old or 13-year-old, it's a little different. So
yeah.
But today we're going to be sharing 5 things that you may not know about us.
Yes.
And we each picked 5 things. And let's take turns sharing them.
You go first.
Me go first?
Yes.
Okay. Something you may not know about me is I am obsessed with tweezers.
Oh my gosh.
And I never know where they are. So I buy a new pair of tweezers every few weeks. And they are somewhere with these socks that are lost. Because I don't know where they end up. But I have like a few hairs on my chin that I have to get, and this is something that women don't talk about a lot, but you get little hairs or black hairs on your boobs or your chin or places like that, and just random ones here or there. Like we have so many hormones and different things, so I always like having a pair of tweezers around, and I never know where they are. So I'm obsessed with having tweezers on me at all times.
The most unanswerable question in our marriage is, babe, have you seen the tweezers? I have never once answered yes. I have never seen the tweezers unless she's holding them.
So that's the first thing that you
I never know what those are.
Me neither. That's the
It's the same answer if I ask her, hey, have you seen the tweezers? No, I don't know.
The monster under the bed eats my tweezers because I don't know where the hell
tweezer goblin.
Yeah, the tweezer goblin. I can picture that now. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, we need to give the tweezer goblin a name.
I need to get like a tweezer goblin tattoo. Oh, that's good.
It's like with the kids, when the kids start learning to do dishes, they do a really bad job. And so you open up the dishwasher and there's like still food on everything.
Yes.
And so I used to tease our oldest son that we had, there was Jedediah, the dishwasher elf in there sabotaging his dishes.
An elf?
Yeah, like the evil dishwasher elf making his dishes dirty.
What is wrong with you?
And our oldest daughter, she would get in on it too. And yeah, he didn't appreciate it too much when he was going through puberty.
No, I wouldn't appreciate that either. Well, that is probably, I can say without a shadow of a doubt, that's something that none of you guys knew about me. So now you know. Okay, yes. So what's something that people probably don't know about you?
Something people might not know about me is, something people probably know from following my Instagram and seeing my stories, is I'm a pretty big metalhead. I love metal music as my primary listening of choice, and just took our oldest son to a System of a Down concert a couple weeks ago.
So awesome.
But my favorite song of all time is Ghostbusters.
I did not see that coming.
I love Ghostbusters.
I thought you were going to name like a Tupac.
No. I love Ghostbusters. I loved the movie, the second movie. I loved the cartoon when I was a kid. I was obsessed with the cartoon. I had all the toys when I was a kid. And let's see, I think 3rd or 4th grade, I dressed up as a Ghostbuster for Halloween.
Oh, I bet that was cute.
It was awesome. And I just love that song.
So that is your number one favorite song.
Number one favorite
People might
song
not
of
know
all
about
time.
you.
I will say I hated the new Ghostbusters movie. I think it could have been awesome with an all-female cast, but they just did it completely wrong.
You think so? Well, it was Sony, so the end.
Yeah.
Okay, so something that you may not know is, well, you guys know that we homeschool. What you may not know is that I hate it.
You too?
People ask me, "Oh, you homeschool? Yeah. Do you love it?" No. Like, when did I say that? But sometimes you do things that are best for your family, even if it's not what you personally would love. It is just what's best for our family right now. Our kids have been in school, private, public, but right now in this season, homeschool really works best for our family. So do I appreciate it? Yes. Do I feel like it's right for our family right now? Yes. Do I love it? No. So that might be something that people don't know. And that's okay. Like, give yourself permission to not love something, and especially in parenthood, you don't have to love every single season. You don't have to love every single thing that you have to do when it comes to that, and that's okay. But we do it anyways. That's my second one.
Very good.
What's your second one?
My second one that people might not know, actually I know people don't know this, is that I'm actually a really big fan of Vera Bradley stuff.
He is. He loves Vera Bradley.
I love the Vera Bradley designs. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
You guys, he did not share his 5 things with me first. So I'm cracking up. I'm cracking up at what you thought of, what people might not know about you.
Oh,
You're
obsessed
obsessed with
awesome.
the patterns.
I love the patterns. They're the coolest designs ever.
Very colorful.
Oh my gosh.
Bright.
Yeah.
Flowers, different things like that. I have a couple of Vera Bradley pieces my grandmother got me, and he loves them.
Yeah. If I still didn't adhere to my own personal traditional macho gender role, I would be more comfortable with wearing Vera Bradley bags everywhere.
I can see it. I think one of these days.
Maybe I will when I'm older and don't give a shit.
Yeah. Well, you are older, so why are you giving a shit?
Well, because I still give a little bit of a shit. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I don't give too many shits, but I just don't. I don't like to carry things anyways.
That's true.
I wouldn't.
That's true. You don't really want to carry anything. But if I need your help carrying a bag, you would prefer it to be Vera Bradley.
Yeah. Oh, and we actually spent Christmas with your grandparents this past year, and we were out to dinner as a family with your grandparents. And I had one of your Vera Bradley bags on, and I wore it proudly to embarrass our oldest son.
Oh, that's right. You were wearing it down the hall.
Yeah, he's in the throes
of Dad, stop it.
Throes of his puberty attacks, and I was walking right next to him, and it was the first time I literally saw him get like angrily embarrassed.
Yeah, because he usually doesn't. Our kids, like our family,
it's the first and only time.
Right, because we don't embarrass our kids. Like, we're not this kind of parents. But this was like the only instance.
Yeah, he was like, Dad, gosh, take that off.
And it had to do with a Vera Bradley bag.
Yeah. And I was like walking right next to him, just flaunting this bag. I'm like, what, you don't like my man bag?
Wow.
It was amazing.
That is funny. Okay, so the third thing that people may not know about me is I am obsessed with other people's fridges and pantries.
That is true. You are.
I love to know what people have in their fridge or pantry. I feel like you can tell so much about somebody by the food that they have in their house. And I love food. I'm obsessed with it. So it's just something that I find fascinating and I get curious about. And I just love it. And I get a nice little dopamine release or something in my brain when I check out somebody's fridge or pantry.
So you learn a lot by their fridge. Interesting.
Yeah. You know, like how people in movies and shows, they snoop in somebody's medicine cabinet to get to know them. No, you got to look in their fridge or their pantry, and then you'll know all you need to know.
I see.
Yes. So that was my third. Your turn.
My third is that I am a huge fanatic of sharks.
That is true.
I love sharks. One of my bucket list things to do is go diving in a shark cage, seeing great whites, either off the coast of South Africa or Australia.
Mm-hmm.
I actually would like to go swimming with sharks.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually not the violent, evil predators that they're made out to be.
True.
And I just think it would be freaking amazing.
Yeah, because it probably would be.
Yeah.
And I will support you in doing that, but I will not do that with you. Of course, you never know. And we might get to an age one day where you'll be carrying your Vera Bradley bag, not mine, but yours, and I won't mind swimming with sharks because we will no longer have any shits to give.
Maybe.
But as of now, I still give a shit and do not want to swim with sharks. You've been obsessed with sharks forever.
Forever. My earliest memories as a child, I loved sharks.
You always have been.
They are just rad.
They're
like real life monsters, but they're not actually monsters.
Right?
They're
no.
cool.
And as our oldest will say, exactly, human beings are the monsters, not the sharks. Right? That's what she say. And
she's always been a little down on humanity.
You know what though? Like I can't tell her she's wrong. But yeah, you've always been obsessed with sharks.
I have been.
You love them.
I do.
Are you going to ask me what my fourth thing is?
What is your fourth unknown fact?
Well,
you would like to share?
First of all, 4 used to be my favorite number most of my life.
That is true. I do know that.
Yeah, I used to count things on 4s actually. But my fourth thing that people may not know about me is that I was born on the cusp of Capricorn and Aquarius, January 20th, which is right in the middle and is considered the cusp of those two astrological, did I say that right? Signs. And not only was I born on the cusp of Capricorn Aquarius, but I was born at 11:11 p.m. And I weighed 7 pounds, 7 ounces. So if you're into numbers and astrology, that's probably a thing. I haven't looked into it too much, but
it's definitely a thing.
I think I did pull out my birth certificate recently because my grandparents always talk about how I was born on 11/11, and 11/11 has always been a thing for them. Anytime they see 11/11, they stop and tell each other they love each other, that kind of a thing. And so I pulled out my birth because I was like, maybe they're just making that up. Maybe it was like 11/12 or 11/10. And no, right on my birth certificate it says I was born at 11/11.
It is pretty awesome.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I think that's pretty neat.
If you don't know the significance of 11/11 in numerology, it means that whatever you're thinking about or talking about, whenever you see an 11/11 somewhere, whether it's on a clock or elsewhere, it means that's whatever you're thinking or talking about, you need to pay attention to, because something, someone, whatever you believe in is trying to give you some kind of a sign that there's something important about that particular subject.
So basically, you should always be paying attention to me. Babe. Okay, babe, you got that? Did you get the memo?
I do pay a lot of attention to you, actually.
Yes, you do.
I do.
All right. So, actually, speaking of that, over the years, you really have learned and honored, like when I say I feel something in my gut or my instincts. Like that is something that you actually really feel strongly about.
Well, now, what do I tell you? We're talking like a business decision or really any kind of important decision. I always ask, what does your gut say?
Yeah, he always wants to know what my gut says.
Because that is literally never been
Well, because anytime
wrong.
we don't listen to my gut, it's like... Oh.
We pay the price.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
But when we listen to your gut, it has never, ever been wrong.
Yeah, and that actually happened a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
It did. Like, yeah, so...
Which has been a good influence on me to listen to my own intuition,
yeah,
which I have been doing and paying more attention to. And we all have it. We just have to open our eyes, open our ears.
I've actually had a
open
few
our minds.
interesting experiences with that, like visions and things like that, but I'm not going to get into that right now. But yeah, definitely. It's a thing.
That's cool stuff.
All right. So what's your fourth?
My fourth thing that people might not know about me.
I love how you repeat the title every time. It's very thorough.
The fourth thing that I will be very thorough about is that, I have a list here. I'm trying to decide which one I want to talk about? Okay, so when I was in high school, and I still am, but I'd never have the opportunity to enable this very bad habit. But I was a big time pyromaniac when I was a teenager.
That's true.
I love fire. I really do.
I think maybe you should have let me look at your list so I could have eliminated this one.
Well, I never do anything where I'm around any kind of situation where I'm like lighting anything.
No,
so.
I would have never thought you would even share that because it's not something that you like. But you've always said if we lived on land that you would be like doing the fireworks and all that.
Oh my gosh,
we don't. So.
Well, the most fun 4th of July we ever had was we hung out with one of my classmates from chiropractic school, our family and his family. We hung out together, and he and I just lit fireworks all night.
Yeah, because they lived out on a property where they had a lot of property.
Yeah, it felt like, it was just like therapeutic, just lighting these fireworks and seeing all this fire and explosions. Yeah. And it's great. I'm
glad that you don't do anything with that because that would be like a huge fear, like an anxiety-inducing thing for me. So, yeah, that's interesting. I would have never thought that'd be on your list.
Yeah, fire is very interesting to me.
It is very interesting.
Yeah.
Do you want to be a firefighter?
No, not really.
Do you want to pretend for next Halloween?
It sounds good in theory, but I'm pretty lazy when it comes to Halloween costumes.
If I told you it would lead to naked cardio?
Well, all right.
You'll think about it.
I will definitely keep it on the back burner, so to speak.
Oh, God. No, that was so cheesy. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, are you really proud of yourself for that one?
That was pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty good.
Okay.
I'm pretty impressed with myself.
So the fifth thing that you may not know about me is I feel that there's been times where sunsets have pretty much just saved my life. I am obsessed with sunsets. When I look at a sunset, I feel like I'm seeing all of the beauty in the world, and that it's just, I know sunrises should symbolize like hope, like it's a new day. And maybe because I'm just not a morning person, but for me, it's sunsets. It's like the day is done. You've done your best. Rest now. A new day will come tomorrow. So sunsets are a really, really big thing for me. Like I take pictures of sunsets anytime I'm out with sunsets, and I just keep them for myself. And every time I see a sunset, I wish that I had like a professional camera because that's all I would take. And I would have like just a sunset Instagram or something. But yeah, I'm obsessed with them. I want a tattoo of one, and they are my favorite thing ever.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's my.
Yeah, I personally prefer sunrises.
Right.
But
I think you can't go wrong.
Yeah, either one's good.
Yeah, and it's probably just because I'm around sunsets more than I am sunrises, to be honest. But it's just really interesting. Like I don't know. The other day there was a sunset that was like orange, and I just was standing in the parking lot of the dollar store just mesmerized by this sunset. It just makes me take pause and slow down and appreciate all the little things, not force things, not rush. I just love sunsets. They're amazing. So yeah, I want one tattooed on me.
Very awesome.
Yeah, it'd be really cool. Maybe I can do a sunrise sunset tattoo and get both.
Yeah, you could.
And
one on each shoulder.
On my shoulders? That'd be pretty cool.
Wow.
I want to be able to see them easy myself, though. Maybe I'll put them on my thighs. Like the top of my thighs. Like up here. Right here. That'd be really neat. Have like a sunrise, sunset, and like southwest style on one and a different style on the other.
I see.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. So that wraps up 5 things you may not know about me.
Are you going to ask me what my 5th thing?
Nope, because you're going to say it yourself, Mr. Thorough.
The 5th thing I will share that is very thorough about me
oh gosh,
is that I went to animation school for a while.
That's right. Yeah, that's a good one.
I actually am a little bit of an artist, I guess. I have a hard time like calling myself, I don't know if it's like a self-worth issue or what it is. But
probably because there's nothing wrong with calling yourself an artist.
Yeah, well, okay, so I'm an artist, and I've always been very adept at drawing. And so I went to animation school, and it was fun, but having a career working in animation, there's not a whole lot of money in it, so I had to quit and take a different path with my life, which I didn't figure out until about a year later. Would be
until
chiropractic.
Until I told you we were going to chiropractic school together?
Yeah, until it freaked me out and told you, there's no way I can do that. I can't do that. My confidence was not very high, apparently.
And I said, if all these other people can do it, we can do it.
Yes, but I've always been good with my hands, whether it's drawing or music or chiropractic.
That's true.
I've always been very adept at any kind of activity that I do with involves using my hands. So that is one of them. I used to draw a lot for the kids when they were younger.
There's other things too, but we'll leave. This is it might be explicit, but
Well, we haven't dropped any F-bombs yet, so far.
I think, didn't I?
No, you did not.
Oh, I'm proud of myself. Let's not then.
Yes.
So is there anything that people may not know about me that you would share that I did not share? I'm already regretting asking this, but.
No, I'm being good.
You're being good.
Let's see here. Well, in high school.
Oh, gosh.
You only wore jeans and white T-shirts.
I was a jeans and T-shirt girl.
Yeah, I only remember you and can envision you wearing jeans and a white T-shirt.
Which is funny because you only wore T-shirts or tank tops and shorts and flip-flops.
Yeah, I wore jean shorts and white undershirts. Or
we were a match then.
Yeah.
That's the most interesting thing you could come up with.
Well, you put me on the spot.
I did, but it's a podcast, so you can edit parts out.
Let's see here. Oh, I got one. Okay.
Okay.
You got an A in calculus in college.
Of all the things to share.
Holy shit. That's like super smart. Like, you're super smart to be able to do that.
Okay.
Like, my most advanced math was trigonometry, and I got like a low B.
Mm-hmm.
But you got a freaking A in calculus in college. That's crazy.
Thanks. That's awesome.
What's something about me
that people may not know?
That you do that they don't?
I'll have to think about that for a second. I'm glad that you can edit awkward silences out of the podcast. Something that people may not know about you is that people might know this. I'm trying to think of something people really don't know. That you used to drive a little tiny green monster that was...
It was a Geo Metro.
A Geo Metro. And so seeing your 6'2" self, 200 plus pound self in this little tiny green Geo Metro was hilarious, but the gas mileage was amazing.
Yeah, I had it in chiropractic school for a while. It was $15 a month.
For gas?
For gas.
Yeah. And then we actually gifted it to a friend when we moved.
Yeah, because it was worth next to nothing, really. So
yeah, but $500 or $1,000 is still money, especially when you're moving and you just graduated school.
Yeah.
It was like the color of your microphone cover right now.
The green machine.
The green machine.
Yeah.
That's right. That's awesome. You were also the fastest test taker.
Yeah.
In school, and people didn't understand because you don't overthink things.
No, I actually had one.
You study for it. You go in, you take it, you walk out.
Yeah, I actually had one guy after a test in chiropractic school one time. I went to work out at the gym there at school, and this other guy from class showed up, and I was just working out, and he came up to me a little bit later and said, "So, I got to ask you, do you get good grades?" I was like,
Did he think you were just answering C all the way down?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, like, why? It was just a weird question. He's like, because you're always the first one done with your tests. I was like, oh, because I have a photographic memory.
I was about to say, you have a photographic, yeah.
So I would study for an hour or two before tests in chiropractic school, and I'd be able to retain enough, really, to get B's and C's on my tests. And, when you have a family in chiropractic school, you do what you got to do just to get through your classes, because it's a lot of hoops. The stuff that you learn that applies in practice, you're not going to learn actually in class. And so that I would always go with my first instinct. Again, trusting your intuition. My first gut instinct with an answer, I would pick it. I wouldn't question it. And I'm done in 10 minutes with my test.
There's probably so many people that are jealous of that photographic memory like that.
Yeah.
For me, I have to write it down, and then I can pull up in my memory how it was written down on that piece of paper. Like, I can do that, but I have to write it. I can't just read it and look at it somewhere else. I have to be the one that actually physically writes it, and then I can imprint it or teach it to somebody else. So verbalizing it, teaching it to somebody else, or writing it down, and then I can remember it much better. So that takes a little bit more time than just looking at something. But yeah, I mean, knowing your learning styles helps you get through stuff like that. But
yeah, I would just look at things and create all these little mnemonic devices around the things I'm studying, and they would just be able to pull it up like it was just a snapshot in my mind.
So those are 10 with bonus things that you may not have known about us, and now you notice a little bit more.
Yes.
And I think that's it, because I think we have a date that you were stretching for on our live.
I was doing my side stretches. And 1 and 2.
And just so you know, he does not stretch like that. All right, you guys, we hope you enjoyed this. Until next time.
Adios.
Love ya.